Hey guys, it's Pete from Crunch Time Coaching, and if you are sick and tired of losing matches and you're ready to win more, this video is for you. I'm gonna go through the top 5 reasons why you're losing tennis matches so you can do something about it. So if you're ready to turn those L's into W's, let's jump right into this video. Reason number 1, and if you've been watching my videos lately, I say this in almost every video, so maybe an alarm bell should go off and go, oh, I better start taking this seriously. Number 1, poor footwork and preparation. This is a big key. This is why so many pros will tell you to move your feet. But it's more than moving your feet. It's about having good footwork technique. I've also been playing this video, we're gonna play it right now, of Roger Federer's footwork. And Roger Federer, maybe more than any pro in the history of tennis, he has flow. He plays so smoothly, and his footwork is so perfect. So what he does is before he's hitting, he's always shuffling, and then he's got the split step right before his opponent hits. This is gonna allow him to have better preparation than most of his competition. He's always ready and set before the ball is even crossing the net. Remember that. Get ready and set before the ball is crossing the net. So many recreational players, if you watch them on video, the ball is coming, it's in the air, they're watching, then the ball's bouncing, then they start to make their move. Now the ball doesn't stop moving for you guys. It's not just sitting there, it's gonna keep moving. So if you're waiting this long to make your first move, now all of a sudden when you go to hit, you're gonna be late and you're gonna be in a panic state and you're not gonna deliver the shot you wanna hit. You're not gonna be able to hit it as deep as you want. You're not gonna hit your targets the way you want. This is gonna make you lose matches, and you're also gonna miss. Lots of these balls are not even gonna go in because you're late preparing, and the best way to prepare is have good footwork and a great split step and get your racket set early. Okay, reason number 2 why you're losing matches, and this is so tough to get out of, but you hit the panic button too soon. I mean, I've done it myself, okay, as a player. I think we've all done it, let's admit it. And coaching now, you see it all the time from juniors, from adults, especially if you have a history, you haven't been winning many matches lately. You can, first of all, just start to see, just after 2 or 3 games, without even somebody saying anything, without my player saying anything, I can start to see the shoulder slump. I can start to see the disappointment set in, and I can read their mind. They're already going, oh, here we go again. I'm about to lose again. Once the energy leaves your body, once the belief leaves your body, it's very hard to win that match. And then people actually start to verbalize it. You know, in the first couple of games, they're already yelling at themselves. They're telling themselves their serve stinks, their backhand stinks. You're basically feeding your opponent confidence and information. Don't do that. You've got to learn from the best. And what do the best do? Rafael Nadal, and I put this on a couple videos ago. I'm gonna use it again. It's a great example in case you didn't see it, because it really embodies what Rafa is all about and what you need to really think about when you're playing tennis. In tennis, there's no shot clock, okay? If you're down 30-0 in a football game, there's 2 minutes left, you can't win. You're down 6-0, 5-0, you can still come back and win, believe it or not, and you've got to believe it. And Rafa at the US Open a couple of years ago, he's playing Dominic Thiem. Dominic Thiem was lights out in the first set. Winner here, winner there, winner here, winner there. Rafa looked unfazed. Okay, he looked concerned, but he looked unfazed, and he kept the positive energy going, and every time he could win a point, he made a big deal about it. He basically got himself off of the mat, literally. If it was a boxing match, he was on the mat. He was knocked down 4 or 5 times in the first round, but he didn't give up, and he came back, he turned that match into a dogfight and actually ended up winning. He never panicked, okay? He lifted the intensity, but he didn't panic. So if you're down a couple of games, don't panic. Don't show your opponent that you don't think you can win. And more importantly, don't tell yourself that you can't win this match just because you're down a couple of games. It's okay to get down 2-0, 3-0, 4-0. You got to look at that as a challenge, as an opportunity. Even if you don't come back and win the match, okay? At least say, okay, I'm down 3-0 right now. This is a great time for me to practice how I'm gonna react being down. Let me see how well I can fight. Let me see how good I can play these points. You can't always control what they're doing over there, but the more you control your side and you're proud of what you're doing, the work you're putting in, you're gonna win more matches and you're gonna feel better about yourself. Okay, let's get to reason number 3 why you're losing tennis matches. Hey, if you want to get back in the winner's circles, one of the best things you can do for the tennis world right now is to like this video so you can help other totally obsessed tennis players who also want to win more matches start to win more matches. And when you like this video, when you give this video a like, my buddy B2, he's going to give you 100 free B2 puppy kisses. So let's like this video up and let's get back to the list. Okay, reason number 3 why you're losing matches is you're too focused on yourself and not on your opponent. So what you need to do is when you're in a match, it's like a chess match. It's like chess and checkers. You know, you gotta think in checkers too. I know a lot of people make fun of checkers, but you still gotta think. You gotta plan your moves. You gotta look and see if your opponent is getting frustrated, if they're getting nervous. What moves do they like to make over and over again? What moves do they not like to make? This is all the thing you need to be looking at when you're playing. So many people just focus on themselves. What do I mean by that? You know, when you're getting ready to play a match, it's exciting and you want to play well. You don't not only want to play well, you want to play great. So you kind of play this movie in your head that you're going to go out there and you're going to hit the ball and you're going to play great and you're going to just, you know, be awesome out there. And when you go to play, you want to feel, when you can go out there and you're feeling the ball great, there's nothing like it in the world. So you obviously want to do that. But you don't need to do that to win matches, guys. All you need to do is notice what don't they like. And lots of times, you hitting the ball great feeds right into their strength, okay? I got this from Jorge Capistani where he talks about the 4 zones of the body. And so typically, and I'm not saying that you're not gonna win some matches by hitting like this, but a lot of times when you hit the ball well and you hit it solid, boom, that ball is gonna bounce and it's gonna come nice and solid right into people's strike zone, right here, area 3 of the body. So area 1 is basically your knees to your feet, area 2 is your knees to your hip, and then area 3 is basically your hip right up here, right under your chest. Well, when you get a solid shot, lots of times it's zoning right in to area 3. So to win that match, your strokes, even if you're stroking the ball well, they've got to be better than your opponents. Another thing that Jorge Capistani said, he's a master pro, by the way, he's one of my favorite coaches. He said in tennis, you know, it's maybe the one sport that you only need to do one thing better than your opponent to win. Like your opponent might be able to do 3 or 4 things better than you, but if you can find one thing that you do better than them, and it's good enough to where it drives them crazy, it's effective enough, you can beat that player that maybe could do, you know, 3 or 4 things better than you can do. So you're trying to find that one thing that you can do that they don't like. So one of the most obvious things is to try and hit the ball up in area 4, especially the backhand, especially if you notice your opponent has a one-hand backhand. So rather than putting all this pressure on yourself that you've got to hit amazing, a lot of times you just got to lift the ball up, let the ball bounce, do its work, get it up on the opponent's up here on their strike zone, and all of a sudden you're getting short balls, you're getting errors. You know, see, do they move well up forward? Another thing too, test people at the net. Intentionally bring them in. See how they react. See, hit a short ball. See, do they hit? Do they come in? How they do when they come to the net? Do they put the ball away at the net? Lots of people can't put volleys away. You know, do they hit and then they retreat? You know, there's lots of information you can get by testing your opponent, seeing if they like high balls, do they like low balls, do they like to come to the net. See all this rather than just focusing on how great you're feeling hitting the shot, and you're gonna start to win more matches. All right, let's get to the next reason why you're losing more matches so you can turn it around into victory. Okay, reason number 4 why you lose matches is you have too many rules of engagement. Let me tell you what I mean. Have you ever gone out to a match and go, man, I don't care if I win or I lose today, but I'm gonna hit the ball. I'm tired of pushing. I'm gonna go out there and just hit my forehand every single time, you know? Or I'd rather play my way than lose to a pusher. I'm not gonna go, you know, adjust my game and start pushing like my opponent. You know, you start to make all these rules of what like your non-negotiables are, that you're just gonna play this way, and if you can't play that way, then it's not even worth winning. Well, then you're not gonna win, okay? You really develop how you're gonna play in practice, and if you can really develop your technique, your fundamentals, and then also add some pressure in practice, there's a better chance that you're gonna play and do what you wanna do in matches. But you've got to also accept being more competitive. You know, why do pushers win a lot of matches? They don't really have an ego about their tennis, and they don't have a lot of rules of engagement. They just go, their ego is, I love to compete. I'm gonna see the ball, I'm gonna hit the ball. I'm gonna make you play one more ball. I don't care what I have to do, I'm just gonna do that, and that's why I'm gonna beat you. Okay? That's why pushers win a lot of matches. Where people who are developing their game say, well, I'm gonna hit this shot, I'm gonna hit that shot today. If I can't hit it, then it's not even worth me being out there. It's not even worth my time. You know, I've had people tell me, you know, they got fed up with themselves and their opponent, and they just wanted to get off the court as soon as possible because they just didn't want to play that way. Well, then you're gonna lose matches. If you wanna win matches, sometimes you gotta grind it out. Sometimes you're gonna start your match and your topspin backhand that you're trying to hit isn't there. And yes, you've got to go to the chip. That's okay. Just because you've got to concede a shot sometimes to win a match, I'm a believer in that, especially if you want to win. You know, there are some matches where you're just like, I'm working on something. It's a practice match, or I'm really developing a shot for the next 3 months. Then I'm okay with you know, making some rules and non-negotiables and go out there and play. But if you're like, okay, now I'm in the season, I want to win a match, sometimes you're going to have to give up your glamorous forehand and make it a little ugly to win the match, okay? Don't put all these rules on what you're going to do and you're not going to do when you're playing a match. Go out there, I'm going to compete. I'm going to compete every single point. I'm going to try as hard as I can. I'm going to notice what my opponent doesn't like and give him a lot of that and fight till the end of the match. If you do that, you win a lot more matches, trust me. Okay, reason number 5 why you lose matches, and this is huge, okay? You focus too much on winning rather than the joy of competing, the challenge of competing. You know, when you go to play why you should love tennis is it's the ultimate challenge sport. There's always variables involved. It's hot, it's cold, it's sunny, it's windy. My opponent hits hard, my opponent hits soft, right? My opponent has got a big serve. There's always a different variable in tennis, and you've got to be excited to go, okay, what are all the challenges today, and how am I going to embrace all these challenges rather than turn them all into excuses, because it's the same for you and your opponent. And the person who embraces the challenges and enjoys them more than the actual thought of winning or losing is going to win a lot more matches, okay? So when I talked about reason number 4 is you have to like ditch the rules of engagement so you can just focus more on competing and winning. What I mean is, you know, really enjoying and just focusing on the challenges. What are the challenges that you have in your match, and how can you embrace them and focus on loving challenges? And the result might still come that you might lose, but if you're like, I love challenges, then you're going to love tennis and you're going to win a lot more matches. So there's your top 5 reasons why you're losing, but I gave you a lot of things that you can do to start competing better and to win more matches. If you appreciate that and like that, then give this video a big thumbs up. Also, I want to help you right now, because one thing you can do to get a lot of free points. How would you like free points? Where do you get your most free points in tennis? is if you got a nice serve. If you got a big power serve, or you got a slice serve that's nasty and gets off the court, or maybe you got a nice kicker that jumps out of the strike zone. I want to teach you how to do all that in a free course called Serving A to Z, where you get 33 free videos. You go up here in the card section, there's a little I, there's a little dot, you click on that, you're going to go right to a website, you're going to get instant access, or you go in the description below or the comment section. If you want to see my next video, make sure that you subscribe and you ding the notification bell, and my buddy B2 is going to be your best friend for life. This is Pete signing off. We'll see you on the next video.